motorcycle. Now it's a race, Horizon. Superstar driver versus daredevil bikers. Who you got?
Oh no. I'm going to be testing Forza Horizon 5 on my 4080 Super. I'm going to do it at 4K, and at least at first I'll be 4K native, so DLSS, FSR, frame generation, everything, you can see that here, that's all switched off. And then graphics, I'm going to play with everything maxed out, so that's either extreme, ultra, one of the settings up there is high as well, and then we've got ray tracing at the bottom here set to extreme as well. So I've always really liked this game because it's always played really insanely well. Seeing this here, almost break 100 FPS at 4K native here, which is nuts.
See you on the other side.
Don't really see many games that play like this. I have played this game before, but I seem to have lost my saves. So I've had to start the game again. So we'll play for a little bit, try and get it to the open world. Look at this already though, look at that. Graphics look nice. Breaking 100 FPS now as well, which is really good. Can I overtake this guy? There it is. In the frame time, it was dropping our low down to about 0.1% low of 40. It's not ideal to where we are at 100. Like overall, it's mostly okay, but every now and then it does have quite a big stutter. Might have just been in that specific area we were in, because this is not the open world yet. If anything, it might be worse there, but VRAM looks pretty decent, 12 gig. Not too bad considering our settings. Oh, almost messed that up. Everything else looks fairly good, I'd say. Power, GPU power looks fairly normal. Slightly less than normal, actually. 290. I've now switched DLAA on. Now, I've never really noticed too much of a difference with DLAA on. I think at 4K, there's kind of less of a difference. There's definitely more of a difference at 1080p and 1440p. I do remember one time seeing there actually being some image issues when I switched it on in this game. Not really noticing too much difference. It has... Our FPS is obviously quite a bit lower than what it was before, but I think a lot of it is down to just this it's a slightly different race we're doing. In a forest area, so I think it's dropped our FPS a little bit. I have noticed though overall DLAA often does drop my FPS, but it's never normally that much. It's normally like 1 or 2 FPS in most games from what I've tested. So it looks like we'll got a pretty nice car now, but like I thought, in that previous race we were doing, I think that just had a lot lower FPS than the other one we were doing. Probably mainly because we were in the forest areas. We're back up to over 100 here. So in terms of FPS between DLAA on and off, I don't really think there's going to be too much difference between the two. It looks fairly similar. Like I said earlier, probably looking to use it more at maybe 1080p and 1440p. I think you'll see more of a visual difference at 4K, less so. Can I overtake this guy? Looks like I can. I'm going to take a look now with DLSS upscaling and frame generation on. So I've got the upscaling set to quality and I've got frame generation on here. So it's in quite a big increase in FPS. I thought maybe we'd see a bit more. 140 FPS at the moment. Not too bad, obviously. Going to sit more at that 4K 144, which is what my monitor and refresh rate is. I'm noticing that GPU usage is fluctuating quite a bit. Sitting at 99%, but I did just see it drop down randomly to 88. Which we weren't seeing at native. Oh, we're at 0.1% lows, 55, still quite a bit lower. I remember it being a little bit better than that. I remember the lows being a bit better, but might be because we've got ray tracing on. It's probably not helping. Now, we'll see a race here and see how the FPS holds up compared to the open world. Seems probably going to be fairly similar. I've noticed VRAM has crept up quite a bit though. Obviously, we have switched frame generation on, which it normally does increase your VRAM by about a gig. We're actually seeing it probably about 2 gig more here though than what we had before frame generation. Overall though, it still feels pretty nice. I'm not noticing any latency or anything like that. No input lag. I am on controller, so maybe I'd feel that a little bit less on controller, but I'm not sure this game's really very well suited to mouse and keyboard anyway. I'm just going to take a quick look because am I capped at 144? I am. Switch that off. I don't think I'd be going too far over it, but I just kept seeing it tag 144, so seeing it 150 there, 151. I've still got DLSS on, so I've got the upscaling set to quality, but I've switched frame generation off. So we'll have a look with frame generation here. I know I get a lot of requests to see DLSS without frame generation. I know a lot of people aren't too keen really on having frame generation on. Not that I can really notice too much difference on this game, to be honest. With it on and off, there's no noticeable visual difference. Obviously, in terms of FPS, getting slightly less here, 130 average, where we had more 140, 145 with frame generation on, so you do get a little bit closer to that 144. Seeing it come down a little bit more here, under 120. But I think overall still feels fine. Damn. Absolutely head-on collision with that car. What's going on with this driving?
Turn right.
Now we might see FPS come down a little bit more here, going to the forest area. I know earlier did see it come down. Looks like it's holding up still fairly well, 120 still. I do think the graphics do really nice on this. I do actually think that, I think they're working on a new Forza. I always thought Forza graphics looked really good. Especially on the scenery. I know sometimes before, I think I've noticed a couple of issues with the image with the trees, but I'm not noticing anything at all now. With DLSS on before, there was some weirdness in the trees, but it looks alright. I'm seeing, maybe is that some bit of ghosting there in the trees, like occasionally? There seems like there's trees appearing and disappearing. Or it looks like, yeah, it's ghosting around the tree a little bit. It's going to be kind of probably hard to see on the video. You wouldn't, honestly, I don't think most people probably would notice that at all, but there is something going on there. If you've enjoyed this video, click one of the videos on the screen now to see me testing more GPUs, and I'll catch you next time.